Vice versa for me is the story, the journey. Music for me has always been about a search for joy, a search for wonder. I guess without wonder, nothing can be wonderful. And that's what's keeping me making these guys. Search for wonder. These are future surfboards. This is my favorite one. It's the first one I ever made. It's starting to come apart at the seams. I am going to try and make a new version of it. There's a lot of parallels between making one of these and making a song, in that you're looking for the pure line, what you think is the truth, but a lot of times it's the inconsistencies and the knots in the wood that lead you to something else. It might have been a mistake the first time, but you hear it again and it turns into something beautiful, something that you would have never done on your own. And a lot of times that's your favorite part of the song. So this thing's almost done. Starting to turn into a surfboard. But it's good. I like to surf a real board shaped by a real shaper. When it's bad, I like to try my luck at other things. I love creating. I love the process of creation, and I especially like working with my hands. This is a guitar that I made for my brother, and this one plays really fun. I love it. I love the experience of making something with my hands that you can actually make music with, because it feels like you're a part of every step of the journey. I find it really odd that I play for a living. I play music. I would do it for fun, period. I never want to lose that wide-eyed, childlike wonder, and I feel like that's where good songs come from. I'll pick up a new instrument to try and feel like I'm doing something for the first time, to feel like a kid again. It might not be that in tune. As a songwriter, what I'm looking for are the ones that are worth singing. I'm trying to find the pieces of myself that are worth talking about, the pieces of myself that I'm comfortable talking about. For me, it's a fine balance of finding the things that tear you up inside, then looking beyond those things to find hope. Walking along the high tide line, watching the Pacific from the sidelines, wonder what it means to live together, looking for more than just guidelines, looking for signs in the night sky, wishing that I wasn't such a nice guy. Wonder what it means to live forever, wonder what it means to die. I know that there's a meaning to it all, a little resurrection every time I fall. You got your babies, I got my hearses, every blessing comes with a set of curses. I got my vices, got my vice verses, I got my vice verses. The feeling that I get when I write a song, the feeling that I get when I play together with these guys night after night, when it feels like we somehow transcended the barrier between the crowd and the stage, and know that we believe every word of it, every note of it. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
I love guitar tones. I love finding them. I guess what I do is collect tones. I'm a tone collector. Stuff has a story. You can take a piece of it with you and implement it in what you do today. Old music, old cars, old guitars, old amps, old photography, old chairs. You can take all those things and put them into what you're doing musically, and that's what I love to do.
I start my day driving through the hills of San Diego to get to our studio in my Nova. The smell of gas and exhaust. It's pretty nice. I like it.
When I go to the studio, I like to stop at a place called Mama Cat's because it's a family-owned restaurant by some friends of mine. I go in and they go, "Hey, Drew, you want your normal? You want your breakfast burrito and coffee to go?"
Yo.
It's a connection to something that's real. It's a connection to people's lives. Mikey owns it, and just that's his thing. He loves people. He loves the relationships there. It's a place where you come in and everyone greets you. And
Let me guess, picking up a breakfast burrito?
Breakfast burrito on my way to the studio. The breakfast burrito that fills me with musical inspiration.
Oh, is that why you
Yes.
come?
Put a little extra dose of musical inspiration in my
See if we
burritos.
can do it.
And I think that's important for me. When you're in Hollywood, when you're in a band, when you're in the entertainment industry, a lot of people shelter themselves and don't want to be known at all because they want to portray an image that is something other than who they are. But I want to be known. I want to have connections to people around me that know who I am, that know my quirks and the things that I like and don't like, and you never know who you'll meet. You may run into someone that just starts talking your ear off about who knows what.
That is exactly like music, because I'll do a guitar sound and it might not be the right sound for that song, but I can use it for something else. It's not a mistake, like you're saying. That's
How a lot of them became great.
yeah,
Look at D. Kirkland.
yeah.
Little pieces here and there.
Yeah,
And then from there,
that's it. That's good.
you like that.
Talking to you, man. That's good.
Always thinking about what song we're recording today and thinking about what sounds we're going to try to make for the song Afterlife. I just started stringing pedals together in a way. I get an idea. What would it sound like to take a sound and then have something that could sustain it and then make it wobble side to side and then cut like a tremolo and then go through a reverb of 2 amps, one with a delay, and then I could time the delay with the tremolo. It all kind of plays into it. The car, the road noise, you know, what you listen to that day, the guitar sounds you heard the night before, or the conversation you had earlier that morning kind of plays into how you feel about the day and how you feel about the music you're about to make. For an artist, everything comes into play. Everything.
A lot of my role in the band Switchfoot is making the strange guitar sounds, making the weird noises and finding the cool tones that fit the song. Coming into who I am, I think, on this record as a guitar player, figuring out what it is that I can give to this band and to these songs, where you capture something that just was there for a moment and then gone. And I probably couldn't do it again. Like that, anyway. Some of the sounds, like this beginning of the original, were completely just a guitar through an old amp, nothing else. No pedals, nothing. Just sound like this. those are the things that I listen for in other records and try to figure out, how did they do that? I listen to old Led Zeppelin or the Beatles or even things from the 80s and 90s, and I try to figure out, how did they get that sound? How did they do that? Don't get me wrong, I like technology and the new things and the beeps and buzzes and all the little like crazy keyboard synth things that you can do. Those are great, but things that have stood the test of time have a real quality to them, have a real soul. I want to make music that's lasting. I want to make music that stands the test of time. And so I have to build off of those other things.
Definitely wouldn't be the player or person I am without John and Tim and Chad and Jerome. Those guys all have a big influence on me, musically and personally. We want to feel these songs take us somewhere great, and hopefully take other people there too, but it starts here as this whirlwind, and if it's not happening with us, it's not going to happen out there. It's got to be happening with us as a band. I love what I do. I love, going down that road with these guys.
I guess music, for me, is finding my way back home in a song. It's not like you always get there. In fact, maybe you never quite get there. That's why you keep writing. That's why you keep singing. Always pushing for something more. San Diego's my home, in the lighter sense of the word, I guess. I guess my ideal hometown day would start with an early morning surf in the fog. It's always foggy in the morning here, I love that. You'd go out to the kelp beds, just beyond the waves, for some free diving out there. Warm up at a campfire afterwards, watch the sunset. While we're dreaming, let's go to a baseball game. Let's go watch the Padres. A couple months ago, the Padres invited me down to throw out the opening pitch. Being a baseball fan, I felt like a 10-year-old kid. Look at this! Unbelievable. He's pitching to me, I'm hitting balls in the outfield. And then, fielding ground balls and just doing the whole warm-up thing. This is pretty awesome. Holding that ball, getting ready to walk out to the mound. It was about as nervous as I've felt in a long time. So here we are at the ballpark, and I'm about to throw out the first pitch.
Please welcome Tim Coleman for San Diego's own Grammy Award-winning band, Switchfoot.
Fastball down the middle. Of course, fastball is maybe like 50 miles an hour. It's my fastball. Life on tour is very bipolar, highs and lows. Surrounded by people, but often alone. The same cycle every day, but in a completely different city with completely different people. And I love it, the excitement of playing songs that I believe in. But in order to stay sane and grounded, I'm always trying to combine new experiences with something familiar. I'll be visiting the same city that I've visited 10 times, and so I'm always looking to do something new, but also retrace some of my footsteps from the last time. It helps me stay grounded. But nothing for me helps ground me more than being able to pull outside of the city, pull back, and look at the stars, you know? Whether I'm in Switzerland or Tokyo or Alaska or Argentina, you know, if I can look up and look at the stars, I feel connected. I feel at home.
Music to me is a voice, my voice. It's my way of expressing what colors can I bring in, what emotion, what feeling, what idea can I bring out of these instruments that would make this song come alive. To me, that's the best part of being a musician. It's my way of expressing. It's my voice that I want to bring out into this song. When I'm not on the road, I like to go to various coffee shops.
Hey, how are you?
How you guys doing?
Good. What can we get started for you?
I would like the usual.
The usual.
You know, the usual.
The usual.
You know, I take my coffee seriously. You know, I don't mess around. I love the hard stuff. I need coffee straight from Jamaica,
Drum, I
Costa
got
Rica.
your Kids Hot Chocolate
From-
with extra whipped cream and extra sprinkles. Enjoy.
Excuse me. Good stuff. When I'm in a coffee shop, I like to get coffee, sit down, read a book, think about life, and just relax and clear my head. But a lot of times when I'm there, I get ideas for songs that we're doing. And for the song Dark Horses, the bridge part, for the longest time, it was just bass and drums. And our producer came up to me and said, I want you to fill this section up. These are the parts I came up with that I thought would enhance the song the best. When I go into a record store, there's so much vinyl that you could probably spend all day in there. And so I like to just go in there and narrow my focus to the music that was out a long time ago, between the 30s to the 60s. And I'm starting to build this collection of vinyl at home. It's really exciting, you know. These are the things I like to do when I'm at home, when I'm not on tour. And I mean, it's amazing to just go in there and come up with a piece of music that was recorded at that era. There's a song on Vice Versa, it's called Souvenirs. The song means a lot to me. It's a song about remembering where you came from. There's a part in there that I play. It's a piano part. I feel like adds a different dimension to the song. I call it the time travel keyboard line. It's a melody line that brings you back, and this is the part. Vice Versa to me is all about depth. You go layer to layer, whether it's in yourself or you go deep into music. There's so much room for emotion, so much room for feeling. I felt like this album is reaching new highs, new lows, new heights, and I'm really excited about it.
For me, music is about community. It's about the communal experience. The family that we have in the band is the most important thing. We have an amazing relationship. For us recording the album, touring the songs, I think that connection that we have transfers to delivering the music to our audience and involving our audience in the discussion and the dialogue.
In our travels, we've seen a lot of incredible art. The Mona Lisa in Paris, iconic representations of moments in time. This, my friends, is one such moment. I present to you the Switchfoot Bro-Am Surf Jousters.
So lately I've been coming out to my garage and throwing some paint around. By no means am I an artiste, but I've dabbled in painting since high school. I love to start paintings. It takes me a while to finish them. I'll go on tour and leave a few half-done canvases around the garage, and I enjoy it, you know. I look around me here in the garage and I'm surrounded by potential canvases, you know, whether it's a surfboard or a broken skateboard, a piece of wood.
Most of the time, the things that I paint are the things around me here in Southern California. The ocean, surfing, music.
Trying to infuse a little Bro-Am surf joust into the old Hawaiian scene. Always looking for a way to collide music and surfing and art.
The Switchfoot Bro-Am has become our annual event here in San Diego, and our favorite day of the year, combining music and surfing and trying to rally the community for homeless kids. The Bro-Am has become something so much bigger than ourselves. To know that it's grown in numbers is amazing, but it's also exciting to know that it's had a tangible impact in the community. To visit Stand Up for Kids in Oceanside and see their new center and that they're growing and able to assist more kids each day, it feels really good. I heard a conversation between Drew and John about guitars on Mars, and I started thinking, wow, well, why don't I take the drums somewhere new? And I went out the back door with them, put them in my truck. What would a snare drum sound like 20 feet under the surface? We found that the conductivity of the salt water between the heads of the snare drum allows for a better wet resonance at that depth in the ocean. Looking around this studio, we have gathered a lot of stuff, and it's actually a good thing because when it comes time to really get creative, we've got wood, carpet, metal, plastic, all this stuff. And then we discovered, for this particular song, Afterlife, our secret weapon. When you hit this thing, it just has this amazing tone. A very green effort happening here in the studio. So we are reappropriating the use of standard objects, you know, guitar cases, metal, wood. That's how I used to pay the rent. See this thing up here? Each has its own space, unique acoustic properties. Sometimes I look around me in the studio and I wonder, how did I get here? You know, how did I end up in a situation where I get to make music every day with my best friends? It's something that I'll never take for granted, working on music that we believe in.
For this record, we talked a lot about making it a drum and bass groove oriented kind of machine. So every time any one of us wanted to kind of change a part, the other guy was like, well, I'm getting in there too.
Yeah. There are moments when you want to capture certain sounds, so you'll isolate the drums and maybe put them over in the closet or something. And, you know, it's a lonely space to be a drummer over in a closet. playing by yourself. Let's put it in the big room, find a way to capture the sound with, you know, the bass amp over there, drums right here, full blast. I remember tracking the original and trying to come up with the verse groove and, you know, the bare drum and bass and vocal pretty much during that section, but the kick locked with the bass. Everything's just really tight and funky. For me growing up, music was something that united me with people that I wouldn't otherwise have a connection with. To be at a show singing a song together with strangers and realizing that music has a powerful influence to bring people together. Vice Versa has become rolling down the window and looking around and noticing the highs and the lows. This life is short and there's so many things that we miss along the way. There's joy, there's pain, there's good and bad happening all around us all the time. And coming to grips with that and living in the tension, to me that's Vice Versa.
Go surfing.
We've been surfing together longer than we've been playing music together.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're still a band.
Incredible to go all the way around the world, but to be able to be back home surfing with the bros.
I think about 20 years from now, long after the band will be hanging out down here, telling stories.